wet and windy Saturday, a glorious Sunday, and we're back to wet, wild, and windy. Welcome to another episode of the Hockey Hour. My name is Jase Gabriel, and returning from a small amount of baby leave, former hockey-roo, and mum to Orla, Jane Claxton. Welcome.
Thank you for having me back.
No.
Yes.
How has it been?
As you can imagine, me returning to commentary last week.
Yes, we mentioned
spoke
that.
words of how bored I was. That sounds rude, but I'm usually so busy, and so now me just staring at a baby all day gets really rough. So I need to get out of the house, and these are the perfect opportunities.
Daddy-daughter afternoons.
Yeah,
evenings.
exactly. Yeah. He loves it.
Brilliant. How is Orla going?
She's very good. I have nothing to compare it to. So other than sausage dogs, which are a nightmare with separation anxiety. But no, she's very good. I cannot complain. I feel bad when I hear other people's stories and I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe it is okay. But so far I'm a bad sleeper anyway. So I've got a really low bar for quality of sleep. My partner, though, he's really dedicated to his sleep score, and that's taking a huge hit for him. So, yeah.
And how are the fur babies going with all that?
So we've had to sedate them a little bit with medication. But only particularly one of them because he's blind, and so he has no idea what's happening. Whereas, the other one, non-blind dog, he's totally fine. He just stays out of the way. But, they've gotten the grasp of things now 3 weeks in. So, yeah.
Very good. Very good. Well, you've missed the joining of the Adamson twins who added some flavour.
Yeah.
Especially when the second time they came, they basically wore exactly the same thing. So
oh, God.
I was putting on there which was to say which, and I know the difference, but I still couldn't work it out when they were sitting here. So my apologies, boys. When I wrote A for Angus and H for Hamish on the news for them to read, then that was the moment I could work out who was who, and I was so worried that I would just get point at the wrong one. And but they were great. They loved it. They got some good feedback from people as well. Good and fruitful. So it was great. Great to have them on.
Good.
Join our long list of hosts, which it's always nice. That's for sure. Big show coming up. The Thundersticks squads were announced today as we recorded. We're going to have men's head coach Tim Geers, if we can get him before training. So we'll try and catch him in the studio here with us. All the news, a couple of mailbag questions. Huge things happening in the TeamStar Premier League. What is going on?
I know, and I'm annoyed. I am so annoyed.
Well, make sure you stick around for that because Jane could blow the lid. But it's all happening in the TeamStar Premier League. But let's start with the news. And as I mentioned, the Perth Thundersticks 2026 squads have been announced. The women has some fresh faces through there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I want to say, fresh faces, and a host returning who are part of the one premiership at least, and some of them two. And then for the men, some huge ins, namely Flynn Ogilvie and
that's incredible.
Former Kookaburra.
Yep.
And then dropped earlier today or even yesterday, I can't quite remember, Johannes Grosser, the German World Cup winner, silver medalist.
Hockey WA just come out with these massive signings each year, or every few years. They've obviously got to financially recover 1 year. But obviously Ava Drummond previously, now Johannes. It's great. I love it.
Bring on the Europeans to Perth. I mean, it's one of the best places in Australia. I'm just saying.
True. That's why I haven't moved back, I guess.
But make sure you go and check out the two squads. They are up on the Instagram page and on Facebook or wherever your social media is most favourite. There are two very good teams, and I think two teams on first glance that I can see can really push the boundary for the women, a potential 3 in a row, and for the men, an inaugural title. But if we're not winning the one cup, what is it, the one?
The one.
Yeah, I can't
There's too many ones.
Yeah, there is too many ones. If we're not winning that, then Geez, I reckon there's something wrong. But make sure you go check out those names, and congratulations to all of those players. And as we mentioned, tell us more about Johannes Grosser, Jane.
Yeah, so I think it was announced this morning. I fired up my Instagram at 5 a.m. And yeah, sure enough, Perth Thundersticks and Hockey WA were thrilled to announce the signing of the German international Johannes Grosser for the 2026 season. Apparently highly under wraps and we'll be quizzing Tim Geers on this later, how it all came about. But obviously widely regarded one of world's best Premier League midfielders. He's represented Germany 146 occasions, and a tally that is going to, I guess, keep rising because he's going to be part of the 2026 FIH World Cup. So you'll be able to scout him over the next month to see if he lives up to your expectations of Ava Drummond. Obviously, impressive resume, Olympic silver medalist at Paris 2024 games, and then being a part of Germany's Euro Hockey Championship winning squad in 2025. So yeah, brings a wealth of experience, I think, and also probably a leadership quality that maybe last year having a really young team they probably lacked. And I'm sure Gizzy will comment on that kind of side of things and how that will bring up those 21 boys that have been obviously huge for Hockey WA with winning national titles. So yeah, I think this is honestly probably one of the landmark signings of the season for whole of Hockey One.
I agree.
And the other exciting signing is for Canberra Chill, who also secured another German player in Ling Kriegs. She's a 21-year-old forward that plays for Rot-Weiss in Cologne in German's Bundesliga. So obviously already built a huge resume, was in the 2024 Euro Hockey Under-21 Championship and one leading goal scorer there. And then also in the Junior World Cup for 2025 and going to be in the Senior World Cup in 2026. So already has 20 caps for Germany. So that'll bolster, I think, the Canberra Chill side. Obviously losing Olivia Shannon, I think, to the European League.
You think so? Liv Shannon and Amy Lawton.
Yes. Both of those obviously coming out of their side. So they probably had to look for some firepower up front. So great for the Canberra Chill. And then the Cobras, again, have signed another person in to further strengthen their squad in another Indian international in, you'll have to help pronounce this name.
Say Ajmina
Kujor. Yep.
Ajmina Kujor.
Yep, 24 years old, obviously international experience representing at the under-21 level, and then fourth place at the 2021 Junior World Cup. She's an attacker, so up front for them, and has starred in the Hockey Fives, which we haven't had many, I guess, Hockey Fives participants in the Hockey One League. So that'll be interesting to see how she transfers those skills across. And then also obviously plays for Sorma Hockey Club in the Hockey India League, for those that have followed along that.
I want to say Sorma. Is that Sorma Liv Shannon and...
I think so, and Penny Squibb's team. Yes, that does ring a bell.
Interesting.
Yeah,
so she's joined Penny over there.
Or they've made Penny come across. They've infiltrated her when she was in Hockey India League.
Lots of things happening in the background. I don't know how many more signings for female internationals that they have to come, Melbourne Cobras.
Is there only... Is there a cap, 6 or something, or
there is? But I think they've been allowed maybe one more, potentially 1 or 2 more. So they're clearly picking off the younger athletes, which look, I don't mind.
Unpredictable.
Yeah,
harder to know, like when teams are coming up against them, other than obviously deep into Hockey One, how they're going to match up to. So unpredictable.
Be interesting to see how they go playing with Australians, because it's different obviously when you go to Hockey India League and mostly Indian players, so you're going to play that kind of style, and obviously everyone else adapts, but it'll be interesting to see how they fare in this league with mostly Australian players. So
for sure,
be interesting. It'll be interesting. The Hockey Australia Country Championships are underway in Bendigo. Of course, we spoke to both coaches before they left. Day one saw the men defeat South Australia 4-2. The women defeated by South Australia 2-1. On day two, both teams unfortunately defeated by Victoria 4-0 and 3-1. And then today, I believe, round 3, both teams again defeating WA, or being being defeated by New South Wales, I should say. 3-2 in the men and 3-0 in the women. You can check all the results on Hockey WA's website or the Country Championship Hub following all the action. And otherwise, you can go to Hockey Australia's Altius or watch online on livehockey.com.au. That is all the news for this week. Let's dive into some mailbag questions. We've got a couple of really, really good ones. This one is from Anon, but the person reached out to me. They chose to be anonymous, but I think it's a great question.
It is.
What position in the hockey community is the most challenging? Speaking in general club hockey land, umpire, coach, player, tech official, manager. I want to say president is probably the most difficult.
I would say that. I am constantly conversing with our president at Reds Hockey Club, and I can only imagine how many other conversations she's having to have across the junior space, senior space, veteran space. You've got so many fingers and so many different pies and so many people to make happy. That would be a nightmare.
I would assume most clubs have like a president who sits at the top, and then they've got like a junior vice president, men's vice president, and then female. So they would look after each of the chains. But at the end of the day, it all sort of feeds to the top, right? And you're probably coming to meetings with Hockey WA.
Yep.
You're getting all the emails that come through, having to disperse them potentially if they don't go to a secretary, if you don't have one. You're essentially having to be across everything.
Yep.
And I guess, if first grade teams wanting to get imports, it's got to go through the chain.
Yep.
So it'd be a lot.
I didn't even think of that when I was looking at this and trying to develop an answer. I was like, they're just so, you interact them with an everyday basis. But when you think of hockey, sometimes you only really think of those that participate actively in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of those other positions are volunteer positions. Sometimes your first grade, well, more often not, your first grade coach will likely be paid and potentially choose to pay the second grade coach. But all the other coaches at the club, all the managers, sometimes the umpires, if they're not a Hockey WA umpire, or maybe they get some payment if someone's trying to get them off Whistlers or something like that. But most of those other, I'm not sure there is financial gain or recognition for the president, except maybe some free fees. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think it would be a selfless.
It would be, which makes
job.
It 20 times harder.
Yeah. So well done to all the presidents out there. We've spoke to a lot of them, I think, a couple of years ago and found out about their clubs and things like that. But it is a thankless job because you are talking to everyone and everyone wants to talk to you about their problem.
And they all have other jobs. Like,
yes.
Like James Savandra.
Go
to Royal Perth Hospital and wait in the emergency department long enough and you'll see him.
Not only does he is he a surgeon for his full-time job, he is often the first choice if someone needs stitches.
Across Hockey WA. It's not just exclusively for Vic Park.
There you go. And he's president on top of that.
Yeah.
So well done to all the presidents out there. And thank you for your question, Anon. I feel that's a very difficult job. And well played to everyone who does it and either nominates themselves or gets nominated. More often than not, they get nominated by other people.
Gently push.
Question number 2. This is a good one. Anon has asked as well. Are there a lot of stick modifications going on in field hockey? How much can you change before it's illegal? Would you ever modify your stick for better grip, drilling skills, or paint white for more deception? Comparing with ice hockey, where players often go for a black stick tape to have more deception on when the puck is released off the blade when shooting. It's a great question because it's something I've seen evolve over the last year to 2 years. Now, you probably remember this as well. There was a time where you couldn't have white sticks. You couldn't have white shoes. You couldn't have anything.
Yeah, because it was just so confusing.
Yes, and
apparently.
I don't know when that changed.
No,
I don't know when that changed, but now you see a lot of drag flickers have the white paint on their stick. Goalkeepers are wearing white pads. I don't know what for. I think that's just for the look. But yeah, I'm not sure about it.
I can't. I would have to do an experiment because I just don't think goalies would be that easily fooled because obviously it's drag flickers painting the front of their stick white or the flat side. And I think this question came from because Oranga Hockey posted the new Adidas World Cup stick, and
Yes.
it showed one of the players sanding down his stick, spray painting it white, and then spray painting it like a gloss over the top
Interesting.
to make the ball run along it. I don't know. I don't know the theories behind a lot of these stuff because I was very basic with my stick.
Yeah.
So,
Stop grip.
yeah, I was like, I would grip it, and that was about it.
Yeah.
So I have never really delved deep into stick modifications, but I know a lot of the Kookaburra boys have, in terms of, like, some were really pedantic about the weight distribution of sticks, where they gripped the sticks, the type of grip they were using. Some would sandpaper a lot of their stick down to make it grippier and things like that.
Yep, I did that. I would use a specific grip, and I would like it grip like that. I would often, I wouldn't. I think, I probably sanded, like, just sanded a new stick just to rough up where you would trap for flat stick and reverse, just so the ball didn't spin on the paint. But I would just normally do that, and that was just a me thing. Very picky with weight and
really,
and where the weight was distributed. I
needed to
higher.
be more picky.
Well, I just
that was maybe my problem. That's why I had no real elimination skill.
I've always just really liked it really light, and often when you get them off the rack, like, you just bound by whatever's on the rack. But I've happened to steal. Borrow, not give back. One of Jake Wetton. So I've got his mold, from Griffin, and this is very light, 500 grams.
Wow!
And it's a specific type of head that he has. So his stick is made for him.
Really?
A lot of players have them.
Oh no! I'll take this up with Jinder. That's an atrocious batless. I can't believe they haven't made me.
Why didn't they make a JC 18?
It's because he's like, you just take any stick.
But the paint, I get it. I have asked, I think I was asking Leon Haywood whether the actual white paint does affect them being able to see the ball. And he did say it makes it a little bit more difficult. So I can understand that for a drag flicker, but I think lots of other players are doing it now, and I don't understand.
For general field play, it makes no sense.
No, I don't quite understand that. So I think sticks are being made like that now. So some sticks are coming like that with the paint already. So maybe that's why people have it. But I would feel it's not really necessary unless you're flicking.
Yeah, but I know there's, like, in ice hockey land, they grip their sticks very specifically, and people are world renowned for the way they grip their stick, and people try and copy it. And so I think theirs is a lot more pedantic than probably ours.
It's interesting. I've known people who, like Jake Wetton was he would tape his sticks all the same, however many you had. People would like to retape their sticks before a game.
Every game. I'm like, that's a waste of resources.
Yes. And you're just using, the medical tape.
Yeah.
I suppose. So it is definitely a thing. Personal preference. And I guess if you've maybe some males who have come from cricket and having grips on cricket bats, and it's maybe a natural progression. But I don't understand the deceitful sort of side just yet. I'm not sure if you really need it, but
obviously you have to. There's the tests you have to pass for when you're at international tournaments. So you get a little sticker right at the start of the tournament, which means that your sticker's passed the FIH accreditation, which is you have to. They have a little implement that has to fit under the stick, and it can't can't have too much spacing, so that's basically testing the bow of the stick. And then there's a ring that has to pass around the whole stick, which is testing the thickness of the stick. Both obviously elements are considered to, like, give you a disproportionate advantage over anyone else if they weren't to pass. So that's the only things that I'm aware of.
The bow one is interesting because I remember people used to have, like, the massive bow, then they brought it in, so the sticks were made so instead of when they lay flat, you could have the bow, but when they lay flat, they actually rocked like that. So the mechanism. So that's how you can extend the bow without
really
by passing it through.
People.
So you're obviously putting the way the stick lies, maybe a little bit on the handle, but the weight is sort of sitting on the underside of the stick, I suppose. So it rocks like
and I know people often delay gripping their sticks till after it's been tested.
Yes.
Allegedly.
We know all the ins and outs. But, if you have a special way that you like to grip your stick or like to have the feel of your stick, let us know. Drop it into the mailbag. I'm sure everyone has something different or some sort of way they like to do something with their stick. Or, you know what? If you buy your stick off the rack and just use it as it is, let us know. Because I feel like that is becoming more and more of a thing. So let us know. We'd love to hear from you and drop us a line on the mailbag. And, tell us how you grip your stick. What do you like about, or what do you like specifically about the way your stick is? But if you have any other mailbag questions, hit Jane or I up, or you can reach out to Hockey WA on Instagram. TeamStar Premier League wrap time, Jane. Oh, have things been happening?
Yeah.
Let's start with women because I think most
mainly in the middle of the ladder, which is very annoying.
Well, we've been talking about the middle of the ladder for both competitions, but it seems to be exploding more in the women with some results that probably haven't been anticipated, but are happening. It started with YMCC defeating Hale 3-0 on Friday night. That is a huge result.
Yeah, I want Hockey WA to do what the AFL are doing. Start looking into who people are playing and if they're rigging these games just to screw over Reds.
Well, I mean, that doesn't help Hale's cause because they do have that game still to play against you guys, which they should theoretically take the points in. Unless
they're 3-0 up with 30 minutes to play.
It's a miraculous comeback. Yeah, you can hold your head on that. But they now fall a little bit further away from the top two. So we'll touch on that in a sec. But the other team within that middle of the table mix is Fremantle Coburn, and they put on a cricket score against
I thought that was a spelling error when they posted it.
It was 6 goals in the second quarter, I think 5 in the fourth.
Yeah, wow.
Summer Tancred and Jenna Ray McIntyre both hitting hat-tricks, but the reason I'm talking about it is because they had a really bad goal difference, probably around 12 goals, and we'll see in a sec, but I'm pretty sure it's almost close to even, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what also annoyed me about it all, is I'm like, oh, okay, we've still got in our back pocket that we've got great goal difference, and then that happened. So it's been a real damaging weekend.
But your team held up their side of the story, beating Vic Park 4-2. So that's huge as well. Like, you could have fallen behind, and your team found something.
Yeah, I think it was probably one of our best cohesive performances. We've had various players play great games and then be hit and miss. And I know that's the potential we can play at, and it's obviously we've got a young side, and so consistency is really hard. But, proud of the girls' efforts on the weekend.
Huge. And then finally, UWA defeating Westside Wolves 3-2. So that was huge for Uni. Let's have a look what that does to the ladder. So Wolves now still sit on top on 43 points. Suburban Lions on 41. So are able to catch them again. Now Hale, as I mentioned, third on 38, but they have that game with Reds still to complete. But even if they win, they won't move because their goal difference is less than Suburban Lions. So they just sit in third anyway. Vic Park's loss keeps them in fourth. A huge win for University over Westside Wolves means they're only 1 point behind Vic Park and Hale as it stands. So they can jump them. And then the coveted sixth position, the 2026 created sixth position is the one causing all the stir. Now, if it wasn't there, we'd have a top 5 and this would be no issue, right?
I think we would literally be checked out by now, the bottom of the ladder. But I think that's what's been exciting is that it's actually created more excitement deeper in the season.
It has. Now, Fremantle Coburn sit on 26 in 26 points in 6th position. Now, it actually didn't bring their goal difference back to even. Their goal difference stays at -11. So
they're negative 32. No,
20 something.
Yeah,
23.
What are the math?
Negative 23. So they've come back into -11. So still not much to write home about, but a lessening, so to speak. 1 point behind them, YMCC on 25, and then 4 points behind is Reds on 22. Whitfords are still around it on 19, but unfortunately fallen off the wayside and probably not able to catch
Yeah, I
the
think
3
they've
games remaining.
lost, obviously, Liv Shannon for the rest of the season. And then, heavily falls on, obviously, Penny to bolster that through PCs and things like that. And I think a lot of teams have now cottoned on to Penny's tactics. So,
Maddie Radcliffe still leading the Jackie Pereira leading goal scorer, but Jenna Ray McIntyre bolts into second position now on 19 goals, which is a great return. Let's have a look at this weekend's fixtures because things are getting serious and tight with 3 weeks remaining. Vic Park and UWA is a huge game Friday night here at the Perth Hockey Stadium. Vic Park will either push away or UWA will jump them if they win. A draw means they stay in their positions. YMCC are beating the top guns at the moment. They play Wolves on Friday night.
If Wolves lose that match, I would like an inquiry. No.
It's it'll be a fascinating one. So they have got some form. Your ex-teammate Jackie Day's been running around as well.
Yep,
so
I've
great
seen
to
her
see
name pop up, which is nice.
Great to see her back out there. Wasps and Reds, you should get the points there. Should.
Yes.
Then one of the games of the round, Fremantle and Melville. I think Fremantle should win, but I think Melville will make it life difficult. They have for most people.
Ideally a draw.
A draw? That's
not
what you would
unbiased from me, obviously, would be a draw.
The other 2 games, Hale and Whitfords and Lions and North Coast Raiders should see the higher ranked team come away with the points. Let's look at the men's side of the competition. And in one of the top of the table games, YMCC beating Hale 4-1, highlighted by a 4-goal game by Cooper Burns. So
he's back.
An important one. And that, with Liam Flynn scoring in that game as well, only the single, that should wrap up the Eric Pearce leading goal scorer for Cooper. Should. We'll double check it in a sec.
Liam's always, he comes out of nowhere.
He does, but we thought he may go over and watch Sarah at the World Cup.
Oh.
Maybe. We don't, not confirmed, but probably should.
Yes, probably, maybe. Beneficial for their relationship.
Probably should, and I feel he's a great boyfriend.
Yeah,
so
he is,
yeah. So all other results going the way of the higher ranked team. Reds defeating Vic Park 4-1, which may end Vic Park's chances of finishing in the 6. Wolves being defeated 3-0 by UWA. So that's big as well.
What's been happening? Have people not got enough sleep or something?
I'm not sure. Shout out to Matt Fisher, by the way, because he doesn't often score.
Yeah, true.
And I don't see Fisher's name on the score sheet very often.
No,
so
you don't.
Shout out to Fish for getting on the scoreboard. But let's have a look at the ladder now. So YMCC with their win move 4 points clear of Wolves because they've lost. So we're close to securing top spot. Wolves in second on 44. UWA's win gets them closer to the top 2 on 42. Big because now they can jump Wolves, which is important, right? The 1v2 play each other.
Yeah.
You want to play in that unnecessary game, but it gives you the weaker team, so to speak. Not there are very many weak teams in the top 6. So UWA in third on 42. Hale and Fremantle Coburn now on 40 points each. So that shouldn't affect very much because they're all going to sort of play elimination finals anyway. And then the 6th place position in the men, Melville 31, Reds on 28 and Vic Park on 26. So 3 games to go. I'm pretty sure Vic Park are playing 2 of the top 3, if not 3 of the top 3. I can't remember. I actually think, at least 2. YMCC University, they definitely have to play. And then Wesley, South Perth, or Wasps, they have to play as well. So definitely difficult for Vic Park. It's really out of Melville and Reds now. Melville have the better goal difference currently. So let's have a look at the fixtures. I think it's going to start on Friday night. This will be big. Mods Old Guildford and Raiders. Now, Raiders haven't won a game this year. they're going to see this as a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
Their first points of the year. So intrigued by that one. Vic Park in UWA. Uni has to win to give themselves the chance to finish second. Probably the top of the table match, YMCC and Wolves. Huge this weekend. It'll likely secure YMCC finishing on top of the ladder if they can win this game, and puts Wolves in a vulnerable position, being UWA now only a couple of points behind. Fremantle versus Melville, another huge clash. Fremantle would think, well, they are safe in the top 5, but so important for Melville to win, to stay in 6th position. So a loss and a Reds win sees them go level.
Yep.
Makes everything
And
interesting.
I feel like Melville will probably be the most benefited out of the Kookaburras coming back.
Yes. So I want to say they'll have Davis Atkin, who I'm fairly certain is still in Perth.
Yeah.
And Dylan Downey, who is, I'm sure, still in Perth as well. So they're going to be benefited by them.
Yep.
James Day, I'm sure, will be around as well. So going to be a cracking game, that one. Cooper Burns, 6 goals clear of Liam Flynn at the top of the Eric Pearce leading goal scorer. So Coop should have it sealed with 3 games to go. Stranger things have happened, but it's all happening.
Yeah.
TeamStar Premier League.
Exciting, 3-4 weeks to go?
3 weeks, I think, yeah.
3 weeks.
3 weeks to go. Let's see where we land. You found a league to discuss.
Well, I was going to do Division 3 women.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
We've done that.
No.
We've done the higher divisions. But,
let's do it.
Yeah, so previous weekend, round 16, kicked off on Saturday at 12:30 p.m, which is lovely, at UWA Super Turf, UWA versus Reds. And Reds came out with the 6-1 win.
Big win.
Well done to the Reds threes ladies. And then following that at 1 p.m. out at Hale, we had Hale versus Raiders, and they took out the win 3-1 over Raiders. And then on Sunday at 2 p.m. out at PHS, Vic Park versus Rockingham, and Vic Park took that out 3-0. And then later that day, 2:30 p.m. at Troy Pickard Hockey Centre, Whitfords versus Wolves, and Whitfords took it out 2-1. And then 4 p.m. on a Sunday out at Guildford Grammar, which that would have been a delightful Sunday afternoon.
Weather was nice.
Yep, weather was nice, true. Mods Old Guildford versus Southern River, and Southern River came out 3-1 victors in that. And let's have a quick look at the ladder for the Division 3 women as it loads. So Whitfords are on top on 38, followed by Reds on 35, Hale on 33, and then the top 4 rounded out by Southern River on 24. So they have 10 in their league, so I assume it's top 4 that go to the final.
Yeah, I would assume it's top 4, and that's Whitfords too. So my guess is that they would move up into the Premier 2?
Yes, potentially, true. And then bolster the Whitfords, I guess, senior women's program as well. So not many teams obviously have the 1, 2 and 3
Yes,
divisions.
Correct. And because they're higher than Southern River, and I would assume they have to finish in the top 4, they're basically signed, sealed, to go into
38 to 24. I don't think Southern River are going to decrease that gap.
Unfortunately not, but that's huge. So well done to the Whitfords 2s women. I think I might have seen it on their social media as well.
Okay.
Them. So
well done.
That's why I discussed it. But huge. Well, Premier 3 is a good league.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't apparently play anything other than Div 1 next year because I've played Hockey 1 in the past 2 years, which is devastating because I thought I could weasel my way into Div 2 or 3.
Surely
anyway.
we could make a case if you choose not to run or do some any fitness over the next 12,
yes. I have to
months.
have a physical impairment.
Yes. Maybe we'll tie your legs together.
Yeah, true. Okay, fine.
Oh, you got midweek bets. That's
I do. True. Yeah.
Got that. Well, if you want us to talk about your league, let us know. Anything happening in your league finals for the first time? If you're locked in, we'd love to know. Hit us up on the social media or direct to Jane or myself, or you can hit it up through the mailbag if you want us to talk about it then. But send us your info. Finals are coming, and all leagues, I'm sure, have some interest. of top 4 or 5 positions. So if it's all happening in your league, let us know. We'd love to chat about it and dissect it and find out what's going on in community hockey. Well, as promised, we've been able to wrangle in the Perth Thundersticks men's coach before he heads off to training with his now newly announced socially available squad. Tim Geers, welcome back to the show. We always love having you here. You haven't been on for a while, maybe a year. Is that about right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, a lot of people forget I was a co-host inaugurally of this show.
Yeah, you were.
It's good to be back. Thanks for having me.
Founding father.
It was a founding father. New ice-breaking question. I know you've been listening, so you're probably prepared. Dinner guests, 3 of them, dead or alive. Who are you inviting?
Ooh.
Haven't been listening, clearly.
Mikel Arteta.
Ooh, I like that.
Arsenal manager.
Oh, wow. We haven't had an off-field staff member.
Maybe Pep Guardiola.
Yep.
And dinner guest. Ooh. Dead or alive? Oh. Gee, you put me on the spot. I've got 2 for you. Maybe Arsene Wenger. They're all soccer people. I don't know how that's going to go. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Are you an Arsenal fan?
I am, yes.
Okay, right, well, that makes sense. That's good. Well, that'll be a good chat. You just be talking about the glory days.
A lot of coaching.
Yeah.
A lot of coaching talk.
Wow, the content I'm not too sure about.
Well, first off, mate, you were with the women last year, assistant coaching. Got them 2 in a row. Premiership-wise, why the change to the men's team this year, or why put your hand up for coaching the men's team?
Yeah, the move to the women, it probably was a strategic move for me in my coaching career in terms of I was with the men's program straight out of playing in 2024, and I probably just got to a stage in my coaching where I needed to search for what was going to bolster my experience and diversify my experience and just make me a better coach, really. So I had to have a long think about it, but the opportunity to work with the women's program, which was something I'd never done before, was really coach women in that capacity. I thought would just, bolster my experience, develop me further as a coach, add another string to my bow, and set me up better for, I think, more opportunities in the future. So it was more of a strategic move, and I had a really good opportunity from Steph Andrews, who gave me a great role within the coaching setup. And I loved it. Yeah, the girls were great. Kept me very honest, which was good. But I loved being part of that program. And, yeah, it was a bonus that we were able to go on and win. But, the things I learned and I suppose the more rounded I came out as a coach for that experience set me really well to then return to the boys program this year.
The national streak.
I know.
Streak continued.
Yeah, I know.
We haven't probably touched base on that.
Yeah, true. It is impressive. We've had a few coaches on now, and I love the idea or understanding the differences in coaching men and women, which you'll probably be able to reflect on once you have the Thundersticks men under your belt and kind of understand the differences. But I think it's, such an uncharted territory because obviously me being a woman, I only know what women version of hockey is. But maybe next year we'll hit you up to tell us about the breakdown of the positive and negatives between men's and women's.
It'll be a full podcast.
Yeah. But tell us, let's go to this year, obviously. Tell us about the squad you picked and where you're feeling kind of the strengths mainly lie for you guys this year.
Yeah, really interesting squad. A lot has been made about the men's program in the last couple of years. They've been in a bit of a rebuild and I would say a real evolution or revolution of the program. A lot of senior players have stepped away and a lot of younger players have been blooded over the last year or two. So for me, it wasn't about coming in and knocking it down, but more building upon the foundations of the past year or two and just finding the right opportunity to bolster what we already have in place. So, we've recruited a couple of very important players, which will not only, I think, help support and stabilise that group of younger athletes that we have, but also bring the best out of our best players that we currently have as well and allow those senior guys, a little bit more support. And I think, as a result, we'll be able to take them to another level as well. So It's an interesting squad. I'm really excited about the challenge ahead, and really my overall objective for the program in terms of success is building something people want to be part of, because Hockey One in itself is a real challenge at this time of year, and the commitment and what it takes to play at that level. And so, yeah, my objective as a coach of that program is just to build something that people look at and want to be a part of.
Let's talk about two of those important players. You dropped not one, but two bombshells over the last week to the Hockey One League. You firstly dropped that you've signed former Kookaburra and silver medalist Flynn Ogilvie, who was an inaugural New South Wales Pride player. And then yesterday, I think it was, or earlier this morning, potentially.
Earlier this morning,
you drop another Olympic silver medalist and World Cup winner in Johannes Grosser from Germany. Tell us how those conversations started. Flynn, probably a bit easier because he's been into Perth for a long time and playing locally here. But what about Johannes? Well, where does this come from?
Yeah, I've been keeping that one very close to my chest for a while now.
That's hard in Hockey WA as well.
Yeah, I was very careful not to leak that to too many people that didn't need to know for fear of someone else getting a hold of him. But we'll start with Flynn. Yeah, he's just an exceptional addition to our program. In terms of the club season here in Perth, he obviously was the best player in the league last year. I think he's got 175 games for the Kookaburras and 52 goals, an Olympic silver medal, like you said, Jase. So the wealth of experience that he brings to a younger group like ours is just exceptional. Not only that, but Flynn's a really great character, a really good person. So the process with him was largely about finding out how we made his commitments outside of hockey and the things that he values outside of hockey fit in with his Hockey One commitments. And so that was a fairly lengthy process, but my point of view was, finding a way to work with him on that, because I was very well aware that if we were able to get him to a position where he was willing to commit to play Hockey One, the benefits he would bring to a group like ours would be, exceptional. So, it was fairly last minute when we got it over the line, and we're able to come to an agreement whereby, he felt that what he could commit to was as beneficial for himself as it was for our program as well, because Flynn, by his own admission, still has a lot to offer at Hockey One level. This is a guy who last played for the Kookaburras in Paris, and took a sabbatical from the national program then and hasn't played Hockey One since. But anyone who watches the club hockey scene in Perth will know that this guy still has a lot to offer at the level. And so I'm really looking forward to what he can bring. Johannes, on the other hand, a little birdie mentioned his name to me probably 12 to 18 months ago as someone who they knew who was interested in playing in the Australian League. And I just stored that in the back of my brain. I was with the women's program at the time and just thought, if and when I step into the coaching role of the men's program, for where our group is at, again, I thought it was really important that we tried to search for some seniority and, in his instance, a world-class player. So this is a guy who's played 146 games for Germany. Like you said, he's a silver medalist at Paris, a World Cup gold medal winner. And so, look, one thing about me is I'm very ambitious and I work very hard to get what I want. And so I reached out to him and he came back pretty quickly saying that, yes, it would be an opportunity he would be very interested in discussing, and things just snowballed from there, really. Not long after that, we jumped on a call and then we started to just flesh out what that would look like to be able to get him over to Perth to play for us. And he's really excited by the opportunity, very excited about playing in Australia, experiencing our culture, being able to influence the careers and our program. And so what I was able to talk to him about was something that really excited him. And so he's going to join us, a couple of weeks before round one after this year's World Cup, and he'll be here for the entire season, which is just an astronomical get for our program. And both of those guys, really, it's a huge win for hockey in Australia.
I agree. That's up there with signing Ava Drummond a couple of years ago.
Sure.
I can't think off the top of my head any bigger international signings for Hockey One in general.
Hockey WA have done well with the...
I agree.
Yeah. international signings. But I also find it so impressive that people wanting to come and play here. Like, it wasn't necessarily you approaching him out of the blue and he had no idea about our league, but hearing that other international athletes are really keen to be over here. So it's great for us. Other than obviously skill sets, how important is it having this kind of calibre, I guess, I know you touched on it briefly, of international experience, both as within the playing group, but as, I guess, leaders as well? What do you think, I guess, because you mentioned that the team is pretty young, do you think that will be pivotal in, I guess, them taking the next step, not necessarily potentially winning this year, but future years?
Yeah, I think, look, our program's in a really interesting state at the moment where we've enjoyed a lot of success at under 21 level, but it is a big jump to Hockey 1 level. And the translation from athletes coming out of 21s into Hockey 1 is not immediate, and it's not simple, and it's not easy. And that's probably where we found ourselves for the last couple of years. So, again, as those guys continue to develop, having the ability to train full-time with players like Flynn and Johannes, but also, you've got Jake and Tom, and when the Cookers get back, Jimmy and Cam, Ian Grobler still developing his game. So the opportunity for him to train with guys like this is only going to make them better players and give confidence and learning to the under-21 guys coming through that program. But some of those guys are ready to step up now. And I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to see them do that. And, rather than it be a case of them being exposed too early or thrown to the wolves, they can lean on the likes of a Flynn and a Johannes who can also bring them up to their level or help them. And so overall, the pathway in WA is growing all the time. So as much as their on-field class will be hugely beneficial to us, as you say, their leadership and their direction and their guidance for our younger group to lean on is going to be invaluable. As well as they're two statement signings. People are talking about the Thundersticks now, which is gret.
Yeah.
People are talking about hockey.
The Cobras.
Rather than the Cobras. People are talking about hockey. Hockey Australia, it's just great for hockey in Australia. Like someone like Flynn, who exited the program after Paris, for him to be able to come back and play in our domestic competition is great for the sport in Australia.
It is.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. He's reigning best and fairest in this Perth competition. So he's clearly still playing very, very good hockey. And I'd say I haven't watched too much of his season or seen how many games he's played, but he's going to be up in and around that conversation for the best player in the competition again. So brilliant. You're right. Two great signings, two statement signings, everyone talking about what's going on in Perth. How the hell did they get Flynn and then get Johannes as well? So I love it.
Keep them guessing.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Last one before we let you go. Looking at the fixture, I'm sure you would have seen this come out when it was announced, but 3 away games in a row, 3 home games in a row, then the 1 away, no buys. Always poses a challenge. Travel in general for Western Australian teams in any sport. How do you see that? And is it just get it done and that's just the way it is? Or do you think it's going to have some difficulty coming with it for travel, I suppose?
Bring it on. It's going to be a challenge. We've got 3 away games to start the season against last year's top 3 teams, and they're not short journeys either. We travel to Hobart, we travel to Sydney, we travel to Melbourne to kick off our season. But what an awesome opportunity for us. I think historically, the Thundersticks or hockey in Western Australia, we're best when our backs are against the wall. And so the challenge for our group is you can look at it as, it's a tough fixture and a tough draw and no other team is travelling 3 weeks in a row and we've got to fly from Perth. Or we can see that as an opportunity to really make our mark on the competition early, gain momentum into a 3-game block at home. And if, we're able to pick up some results on the road early, it sets our season up very, very well. We get to come back to Perth in front of a home crowd for 3 weeks in a row where we don't travel. And that'll give us a lot of momentum, I hope, going into, the final away game in Canberra, which then gives us a week off and we hopefully head into finals. So I think it's just the cards we've been dealt, mate, and it's all about how you approach that situation, and I won't be complaining about it, and I won't be making any excuses. We'll have to be smart about it, but I see it as a fantastic challenge for our group.
I like it. I like it. I wouldn't have expected any other
Yeah, I
answer from you, to be fair. But always interesting question to ask when it's set up like that. But, mate, well done on the signings. Excellent for Hockey in WA and your group. Wish you the best going up to round one, and obviously round one against Tassie. And we'll be obviously watching with bated breath and excited to see Flynn Ogilvie and Johannes Grosser join Jake Harvey, Tom Harvey, Ian Grobbler, James Collins, and Cam and the crew. It's going to be exciting to watch. Can't wait. Thank you for joining us.
No worries. Can't wait to see everyone out there watching.
How good is that, Jane? Get him in before training, and then tells us about, like I said, two of the biggest signings. I mean, Flynn is a huge signing.
That was out of left field for me, Flynn. I didn't think he had any interest in kind of Hockey One. I know his priorities lie elsewhere, work, family, and so they would have had to grind hard to get him to lock down. But and I love the fighting words from Geersy. He's just so good. Yeah.
It's going to be good, isn't it? Hockey One's going to be exciting in general. There's a few other names, as we mentioned earlier, coming as well. So, but the fact that you can get a German player or a Dutch player in the past, like there's now a second German player, obviously, as we mentioned earlier. They're notoriously harder to get, aren't they, because of the seasons in Europe? But
and often they're not released by their clubs. Their clubs
Correct.
have a lot of ownership over them. So impressive.
Germany is probably the place to go because they, obviously our players are going over there because it's a shorter season. So if you can get them over, maybe there's some benefit out of it. But we've certainly set a precedence, I think. So keep an eye on all the Hockey One news with the Perth Thundersticks men, coached by Tim Geers, and of course the women, coached by Anthony Potter. There's some exciting things coming in the coming months. But that's all for today's show, Jane. You're back. How did that feel? You got through it?
My mat leave of 2 weeks. I was bored and I decided to come back. No, I really was. I need to get out of the house. I'm getting so claustrophobic. Me and Ola are just staring at each other now.
I love it. I love it. Of course, you can catch all the other episodes wherever you catch your podcasts. You can catch it on YouTube as well if you really want to watch the video. You can notice the sun going down in the background over my shoulder, which is always fascinating. But keep an eye on all the social media on hockey_WA on Instagram. Catch all things happening in WA hockey. That's it for another episode. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next week on the Hockey Hour.